Hello, race fans. Once again, we're at Belleville. It's race 2, Thunder Through the Plains. I'm squinting, the sun's hot. It's not quite as hot as yesterday because I think there's a little bit of a breeze. The thermometer on the bank said 100 degrees coming down. The radio on the highway said 95. Figure it out, I'm beating up. I'm standing with the guy who won here last year, the driver of the U2, Keith Kaufman. Welcome to Belleville.
It's hot too.
Tell me.
Yeah, it's good to be here. We had a good run last year. Started up front and ended up winning the race. It's a big, fast place, so it's kind of tough passing here, but if you get a front row starting spot, it helps a bunch.
How's the year been going for you?
Well, we haven't had that good a year. You know, we kind of been struggling. We had a bunch of top fives, only won one race, but it's been a tough year.
Speaking of tough times, we were all at the Nationals. A little bit of misfortune there at the start of that heat.
Yeah, a little bit. I guess the red flag came out, and the guy in front of me, he decided to stop and turn left in the pits, and I couldn't do anything. These cars won't turn right when you're going sideways, so I ended up bumping them and having a flat tire and backed into the seat, so that was it for us.
Well, sometimes that stuff happens. We're at Belleville. You won here last time. I think you're going to win again.
Well, I hope so. We'll try.
All right. Thanks a lot, Keith.
Okay, thanks.
Kansas. I'm standing with the driver of the Mach 17, Joey Saldana. It's hot, Joey.
It's real hot. I just hope they put enough water on the track and make a good race for the fans.
Last night you had a pretty good show going on, and then that Shepherd guy.
Well, I knew Shepherd was going to be fast. He had fast time, and we got the lead there early, and then he passed me, and on the restart he went to the middle, and I just drove around him, and it was looking pretty good till I got up to a couple lap cars, and I just chose the wrong line, and Shepherd got by me with like 4 to go, and that was the end of that deal. Run second, and hopefully we can beat him tonight.
I was going to say, tonight's a whole different ball game. Have you ever been to Belleville before?
Yeah, I've been here twice, and one time I laid rubber and you couldn't pass, and then last year it was real wet, you couldn't pass, so maybe it'd be a little slicker and you see a lot more slide jobs and stuff like you do at Eldora. Maybe it'd be different for the fans. I don't know if they've seen anything like Eldora here, and this place has the potential to be like that, so who knows.
Well, he hopes he sees a good track. I hope I see a good track. It's time to get heat in the motors. Thanks, Joey.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Joey. The driver of the 1X from San Jose, California. They call you the Hurricane, Randy Hannigan. Welcome to Belleville.
Oh, it's good to be here. It's my first time here.
What does this remind you of at home? I'm not really sure what all tracks you run out there, but it's got to look like something.
Oh, it don't look like anything we have at home, but yeah, I guess this place looks like Eldora, if anything, but at home we don't have nothing like this, so you know, I'm anxious to get on it.
We heard you talking to the track announcer last night. It's really nice of you to come around and run with us on your way back from the Nationals.
Yeah, it is. First time running with the All-Stars and NCRA, and so far it's been a pleasure. Everybody treats you really good and makes you feel a part of it. You know, we're just looking forward to doing good here. You know, we run decent last night, run fourth, and see if we can improve our spot tonight.
Never being at a track like this before, how do you prepare the car to go into something like this?
You just do a basic setup. We just call it our basic deal, and we run it everywhere. So, you know, we'll come here with it and try it, and then, you know, if the driver does his job right, he can tell what's wrong and maybe get it fixed.
Alrighty, well, we'll keep an eye on your warm-ups and see how close you were.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Last night, the winner at Eagle Raceway, the driver of the 4J, Jeff Shepherd. Welcome to Belleville.
Glad to be here.
You put on a show last night, banging off walls, let Saldana think he was going to do something, and then you came back and snookered him.
Yeah, that was something else. I tried something a little different on the restart, and it just didn't work right. But I tried to run the bottom, see if there was any moisture down there, because I was running the bottom down there in 3 and 4, and I was good. So my mechanic said under the red, try something on the restart, and it didn't work, and he got around me, and momentum anyway. But then once I got going back again, I knew I was better than him on the top in 1 and 2, then I was definitely better in 3 and 4. So just a matter of getting up to lap traffic and getting through the cars and stuff, and I guess we were the first guy to make it through lap cars.
You were fast time last night. Is this the same car you were running at Knoxville?
Yeah, everything here is the same except the engine. We changed the engine before last night because we have a motor deal when the guy wants us to run his motor on the big shows, and so we had to change it to run this whole week, and the motor we put in for this week's no slouch.
Oh, that's good to know. What do you think about Belleville?
Well, I've been here twice already. I did it 2 years in a row. I missed last year, but I did the first 2 years of this deal in the 1W car, and we won the first time we were here, and the second time I run second, so I think we should be all right.
So if I was going to make book, I should put on you?
I don't know if I'd even say that, because every time somebody says, I put $10 on you and I lost or whatever like that, we're just going to do our job, and if our job's better than the rest, we'll win.
Alrighty, well thanks a lot, and next up we got some warm-ups and time trials and a track announcer. Thanks.
See ya.
So it's going to be interesting tonight. The heat races, they'll be unpredictable. We won't know exactly just who's going to come off the front row or who's charging off the back. I know, Gary Wright's probably not going to want to start a heat race from the back, but I'd like to see him charge from the back here. I think that adds a new aspect to it, which I've never seen. So
getting underway right now. We better head behind the number 2 now. He's out of California. This is Mr. Brad Furr. Brad Furr driving the 2F out of California. He's on his first time around. Brad Furr, the 2F car out of California. First time for the Outlaw Challenge Series here at the High Banks of Belleville, like 14.995. The first time for Brad Furr. Coming around the 6 o'clock, the second time for Brad Furr in the 2F out of California is a 14.948. On the track right now from down under. Yeah, he's from Sans Souci, Australia. This is Brooke Tatnell. Lap number 1 from down under. First lap of 14.731. Second lap for Brooke Tatnell, a 14.830. Next out the 8R out of Greenville, Indiana, Mr. Rocky Hodges. Hoosier drivers represented here on the Thunder to the Plains All-Star Circuit of Champions versus the National Championship Racing Association Outlaw Series. Rocky Hodges brings the 8R out of turn number 4. Trips the clock, lap number 1 for Rocky Hodges, a 15.035. 15.035, first time around for Rocky Hodges. The Hoosier driver sets it up out of turn number 4. Completes lap number 2. 15.003 for Rocky Hodges, 15.003. Right now, the number 28 with the All-Stars. He's from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. This is Brian Paulus. Brian Paulus, the 28. Runs a 14.903. 14.903. Second lap for Ryan Paulus, a 14.953. Driving the number 8, coming out of turn number 4 to take the green flag. Heading out of the Lone Star State, Beaumont, Texas, Mr. John Bankston. Remember, race fans, the track record here is 14.545. That is the track record. John Bankston brings it out of the turn number 4. The Lone Star driver crushed his first time at 14.926. 14.926. The first time around for John Bankston out of Beaumont, Texas in the number 8. Bankston trips the clock a second time at 14.947. Here for the O'Reilly Park NCRA Outlaws. Been racing for about 30 years out here. Our senior gentleman at number 61 from Norman, Oklahoma. This is Ernest Jennings. Ernest Jennings running around the track right now. 16.352. 16.352. Second lap for Ernest Jennings stops the clock with a 16.226. Coming out of turn number 4 right now. Driving up blue and gold number 1. The driver out of New Oxford, Pennsylvania. That is Kevin Goldberg. Kevin Goldberg out of New Oxford, Pennsylvania. In the number 1. Brings it out of turn number 4. Trips the time on his first lap. Goldberg, 14.834. Close it in on a possible track record. Goldberg out of New Oxford, Pennsylvania. Right in between turn number 3 and 4. Looking down the short front straightaway. Puts the clock. Second time, 14.838. 14.838. All right, on the track right now, running with the All-Stars. Circuit of Champions. The number 2 plus from Fremont, Ohio. This is Brian Smith. Brian Smith in the 2 plus car. Running for the All-Stars. Brian Smith, a 15.528. 15.528. Quick time so far, 14.731 looks like. Second time around for Brian Smith, stops the clock at 15.451. 15.451. Coming out of turn number 4 right now. He's out of Yukon, Oklahoma. One of the original Outlaws. The 12S, that is Champagne Shane Carson. Drives the Helms Motorsports sponsored car. Yukon, Oklahoma. One of the original Outlaws. Sets it up out of turn 4. Lap number 1. Shane Carson, a 15.493. 15.493 the first time around for Champagne Shane Carson. Is out of Yukon, Oklahoma. Looking down the short front straightaway. The 12S puts the clock in the second time of... We might not get it, might have been a malfunction on our clock on the race second time. On the race track right now, running for the All-Star Circuit of Champions, the number 94 from Holmesville, Ohio. This is Kenny Jacobs, and he's flying. First time around for Kenny Jacobs, a 14.683. Quick time, 14.683. Second time for Kenny Jacobs, a 14.568. 14.568. And you talk about Jacobs. Time with the brother of Kenny Jacobs, Dean Jacobs. From the Buckeye State of Ohio, sets it up down the back straightaway. Dean Jacobs, a former feature winner on the Thunder Through the Plains. Sets the 92 car up, trips the first time. 14.861. 14.861. The first time around the half mile for Mr. Dean Jacobs. Sets it up on the number 4. Dean Jacobs, the number 92. Puts the clock the second time of 14.805. 14.805. All right, on the racetrack right now. All the way from the Sunshine State of California. San Jose to be exact, the 1X. This is Randy Hannigan. Randy Hannigan. First time of 14.953. 14.953. Randy Hannigan, a 14.864. Currently running in the top 10 in the NCRA O'Reilly Auto Parts point standings out of Golden, Colorado. Former Rookie of the Year in the world of Outlaws, when the Outlaws were first running around the Midwest of the United States area. Racing clock the first time for Rich Buback, a 15.747. 15.747 coming out of the sky. Take me down to Memphis on a midnight ride. I gotta move. Rich Buback out of turn number 4. Sets the number 9 up his second time. 15.616. 15.616 for Rich Buback. Billy Valhaven. let's see, he didn't take the flag that time, so this will be his first time. Billy Villar. First time around for Billy. A 15-150. 15-150. Second time around, a 15.154. 15.154. Driving the 12 double X as he sets it up out of turn number 4. He's out of Belleville, Indiana. That is Mr. Danny Smith. Danny Smith out of Dansville, Indiana. This guy could pick up a feature win anytime he puts the big car on the racetrack, anywhere he's at. Puts the clock the first time for Danny Smith. 14.855. 14.855 the first time around for the 12 double X of Danny Smith out of Dansville, Indiana. Smith sets it up out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. Second time of 14.801. 14.801. Out on the track, didn't get a time on her second lap. This is Shane Carson in the 12F. He only did one time around here. The second lap wasn't scored the first time. So Shane back out on the racetrack here in the 12S. Second line for Shane Carson, a 15.485. Billy Villar out on the track right now to Shawnee, Kansas. Apparently going to get one more lap under the green as the clock malfunctioned on his second time around. No. Danny Smith. Our mistake on the track was a malfunction with the clock, so we'll see what happens. Smith takes by. Danny Smith will record a second time of 14.885. 14.885 the second time for Danny Smith. On the track now, in the number 17 car. Trying to move that track record down if we can. In the number 17, from Van Wert, Ohio, Joey Saldana. Joey Saldana in the number 17 car. Making his first trip around the half mile. Joey Saldana in the 17, first time, 15.137. 15.137. Stars of 14.906, 14.908. Coming out in the number 00 right now. Keep your eye on this guy, race fan, as he comes by the pursuit. He's out of San Jose, California. This is Mr. Jason Statler. Jason Statler out of San Jose, California. One of two California boys, I believe, here this evening competing on the Thunder Through the Plains. 00, Jason Statler trips the clock for his first time. Of 15.519. 15.519 the first time around for Jason Statler out of San Jose, California. He sets the 00 on out of turn number 4. The front shoot coming down the front straight for Jason Statler. Second time of 15.444. 15.444. Second race right now on the half mile here at Belleville. He runs for the All-Stars from Findlay, Ohio. This is Jason Dukes in the number 3. Jason Dukes, a 15.109. 15.109. Second time by for Jason Dukes, a 15.031. 15.031, his quick time. He's playing out to the big half mile right now on his first lap out of Watertown, South Dakota. What a day for Friar's favorite boys up there, the 69-hour Mr. Terry Riley. Out of Watertown, South Dakota, trips the light, a 15.821. 15.821 for the Wizard out of Watertown, South Dakota. Terry Riley, the 69R, looks at the short front straightaway here at the highlights of Belleville. Sets it out for a clock time of 15.735. Five-time defender of the National Championship Racing Association. Now, 28 years as a sanctioning body across the Midwest area. Gary Wright out of Hooks, Texas, in the number 9. The Texas sets it up in between turn numbers 1 and 2. The number 9 out of Hooks, Texas, Gary Wright. Keep your eye on this guy as he sets it up for turn 4 down the short front straightaway at the highlights of Belleville. First time for Gary Wright, 14.618. 14.618. The first time around for Gary Wright out of Hooks, Texas. The number 9 now left up the front straightaway. Sets it up for a 6 o'clock the second time for Gary Wright. No clock did not get a time on the second shot for Gary Wright.
All right, coming on the racetrack right now. We'll get Gary Wright in just a moment. All-Stars Tournament champions in the 4J from Upper Cove, Maryland. This is Jeff Shepard. Jeff Shepard. First time around for Jeff Shepard. A 14.744. 14.744. Jeff Shepard is a 14.797.
14.618. Of course, the track record again, 14.545. 14.618. The first time around for Gary Wright. Track record 14.545. Gary Wright, five-time defending National Championship Racing Association Outlaw Sprint Car driver. Looking through turns number 3 and 4 right now. His last time around, off of turn 4 to the front straightaway. Trips the clock, 14.644. 14.644.
Right now running with NCRA. We've seen this guy a lot around here. The number 66 Prop Arctic Sprinter with Court Reinstadt. This guy from Wichita, Kansas, Mike Peters. Mike Peters, another guy's got a lot of laps around this racetrack in the 410s and the 360s. See how he time trials this time. For Mike Peters, 15.159. 15.159. 15.157. 157. Second time around for Mike Peters in the Top Arctic Sprint Car. 15.113. 15.113.
Number 1 right now, they call him the Kid. Dave Fryer made allude to him a little bit earlier as a great distant cousin to Gomer Powell. Jim Neighbors, this is Larry Neighbors out of Oklahoma City. Larry Neighbors trips the clock his first time, 15.385. 15.385. The first time around for Larry Neighbors. Neighbors Executive Coffee sponsored car out of Oklahoma City down the front straightaway. Looking to trip the clock the second time for Neighbors, 15.363.
Now, driving a number 8J. He's from Urbana, Pennsylvania. Urbana, Pennsylvania. This is Scott Jones. Scott Jones. First time around at 15. 554. 15.554. Jones trips the clocks at a 15.521.
Generation driver from the Sunflower State out of Utica, Kansas. This is C.J. Johnson. First time for C.J. Johnson, 16.9. 16.145. C.J. Johnson sets the 45 up out of Utica, Kansas for a second time. 4:16.197 for C.J. Johnson. On the track now, the number 34. Missouri. This is Joe Hawk. Joe Hawk from Buffalo, Missouri. In the 34. Is a 17.559. 17.057 first time. Here we go. Second time around, it's a 16.965. 16.965. They'll be calling for the ambulance for the 1A car. On the track right now to Iola, Kansas, known as Dan the Sonic Man. This is Mr. Dan Oswald. $15.995, the first track around the half mile for Dan out of Iola, Kansas. Sets it up on the turn number 4. 16.166 for Dan Oswald. On track now from Bloomington, Missouri, the number 96. This is Scott Whitworth. Scott Whitworth in the 96. Run a little higher around 3 and 4 here. Whoa, cuts her down. First time down to Scott Whitworth. A 15.596. 15.598. Scott Whitworth will be a 15.340. 15.340. 57 on the half mile right now. Down to the Bayou State. From Louisiana, this is Jason Jackson. Jason Jackson looking in between numbers 3 and 4 on the half mile of the Belleville High Bank. 15.354 the first time for Jason Jackson out of Louisiana. 15.354 number 4. Here he comes, number 57. 15.411. 15.411. On the track now from the All-Star Circuit champion. He comes from Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, in the U2. This is Keith Kaufman. Keith Kaufman. From last year, 15.132. 15.132. For Keith Kaufman, the last time trial, the guy that won the 8th feature here last year. Second time around. 15.038.
Rick Nichols, the pit steward for the All-Star Circuit of Champions, down there somewhere helping him out. Maybe probably over the pits, probably. Tom Knight, the NCRA pit steward as well. Side by side, wheel to wheel and wing to wing down the back straightaway as the official All-Star pace truck, the Chevy Silverado, heads into the infield. Up in the starter's tower, Mr. Excited, Bob Phillips looking the field over, hoping to get a good start this time around. Look at the white line in the number 4 turn. That's when they're going to mash the gas, getting ready to rumble. Into the number 4 turn, here they go, here we go. A false start on that one. Caution on the speedway. I'm going to guess a false start as they will take it out of our first heat race to be able to qualify into the feature event. 8 times around. Keith Kalpin up on the pole position as they head into the number 4 turn. Mr. Excitement, Bob Billis, one more time looking for a good start into the number 4 turn. Big So unofficially, your top 6 cars that get a chance to transfer on into the A feature tonight. In 6th position, the 2F car out of Dublin, California, the 2F of Brad Bird. Then we move on to number 5, the 5th place spot going out to the number 92 out of Worcester, Ohio, Dean Jacobs. 4th place spot going to go to the 4J car, last night's feature winner out of Upperco, Maryland, Jeff Shepard. In 3rd spot in the number 94 car, he's out of Holmesville, Ohio, Kenny Jacobs. Your runner-up tonight drives the number 28 machine out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, Brian Paulus. And race fans, let's put our hands together for your winner. He drives the express line, you too. He's out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, Mr. Keith Kalpin.
Amen. As they come by, wave at them, wish them good luck as we fire off NCRA All-Star Heat Race number 2. Our pace vehicles have checked to the infield. They wanted no part of this action. The Trop Arctic 66 of Mike Peters will set the pace to the white line in turn 4. Rocky Hodges on his outside shoulder. Mike Peters sets the early pace. And yellow light comes back out. Official starter Bob Billis says, hey guys, we've got to be square when we get that wide line in turn 4. Oh man, buckle in. Mike Peters, Rocky Hodges, our lightning fast front row. Bob Billis says, yeah! Mike Peters, looking at the outside. Rocky Let's congratulate him, your winner. Kevin Goldbrick, unofficially second. Gary Ride of Hooks, Texas, third in the 9. Mike Peters, fourth in the 66. And Joey Saldana, the Indiana racer from Brownsburg, rounds out the unofficial top 5. And
Up in the starter's tower, Mr. Excitement Takatu. He says, gentlemen, one more time around, and we are going to get ready to go racing. One of the guys, if you ask my opinion, to watch for in this one, the 7K car, Brooke Tadnell. Ended up timing in pretty doggone quick. Ends up taking a like in the big half mile. And he may be moving to the front. Starts on the outside, row number 3. As they gear him up into the number 4 turn, here they come down the front straightaway. Caution on the speedway once again. Just realize one thing, folks, you're not seeing double vision. There are 2X and double X cars, so try to keep track. I know it's hard to be able to do when they come flying by. Into the number 4 turn, Well, they make quick work of heat race number 3. Unofficially finishing in the final transfer spot. That's the 6th place position. The number 8 car out of Beaumont, Texas, John Bankston. 5th spot, the 1X car out of San Jose, California. It'll be Mr. Randy Hannigan. In the 4th spot, the 12 double X car out of Danville, Indiana, Danny Smith. 3rd spot going to the 7K out of San Susi, New South Wales, Australia, Brooke Tadnell. Your runner-up, the 12X car of Billy Billhauer. And race fans, put your hands together, being ultra fast at heat race number 3 out of Eunice, Louisiana, the number 3 car, Mr. Jason Dukes. As they come by this time, race fans, one more time around, side by side, wheel to wheel, in the commercial truck and trailer dash. Kenny Jacobs holding on to the pole position on this one. Jeff Shepard in the 4J on the outside. Row number 2, Frankie Kerr in the 23S. And also the number 1 car of Kevin Gobrek.
Joey Saldana sitting at the back of the pack on this one as they head around. The caution light being turned off as we'll try to get ready to go green this time around. Up at the Kansas Truck Center Starters Tower, we end up bringing them into the number 4 turn. As they head down the front fairway, green flag fly. Down that through and the caution will come out. Everybody hot on the gas. Time to bring it back into the proper formation one more time. And into the number 3 turn they go. Side by side, wheel to wheel, wing to wing. Getting ready to hit the white line in the number 4 turn. Into the number 4, hitting on the gas. Green flag flying. Away down the back fairway. The 4th man just hit the runaway line. As they head into the number 4 turn to the lead, Kenny Jacobs trying to hold on to the lead left number 1. The number 1 of Kevin Gobrecht picking up the 3rd spot. The 4J, Jeff Shepard in 2nd. And race fans, put your hands together for your winner. He drives the number 94 car. He's out of Holmesville, Ohio, Mr. Kenny Jacobs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, race fans, this Buckeye Flyer would love a big round of applause when he takes the helmet off and crawls out of this car. The flying rocket ships out here tonight on the Thunder Through the Plains Challenge, night number 2. Coming out of the number 94 out of Holmesville, Ohio, let's make him welcome, race fans, Mr. Kenny Jacobs. Of course, courtesy too of GM Powertrain, we're going to have Kenny sign some Frisbees right now and then toss them up there into the grandstands before we get a quick word with Kenny. Mr. Kenny Jacobs. We get our trophy girl over here. Kenny, real quickly, come on in here, dear heart. I know he'd rather stand by you than me. Kenny, real quickly, let you take the pictures, then we're going to get a quick word with him out here as our, commercial truck and trailer dash winner down here right now, race fans. One more time, Mr. Kenny Jacobs. Kenny, first off, congratulations, the dash winner tonight here, as well as quick time, fella, and that means something when you guys bring these power plants here to the high banks of Belleville.
Well, I'll tell you, you gotta give most of the credit to the motor on this thing. This Bob Kreiner engine's just really hit, and we got a good race car. J&J car works real good on the big race tracks, and the guys after the heat race we come in and changed a few things because I didn't feel like I was perfect in the heat race, and we changed 3 or 4 things in the car, and right now the car is pretty darn good.
Let's talk about this team real quickly, Kenny. The first year out for you and Tim Hughes, the car owner, the team, it seems to be coming together.
Yeah, the Tim Hughes one axle car, the whole team was a pretty good team when I got there, and I added Barry Jackson and myself to the team, and or Tim Hughes added us to the team, I should say. So, and Todd Palmer and Big Frank Thompson and Greg Hughes, Tim's son, they all work pretty good together, and they got this car pretty fast. It's been a real consistent race car for me, and this place has bit me. I've won other races here, but I've never won the feature, so maybe tonight we can turn around and win the feature here.
And of course, you're coming in here as the point leader on the All-Star Circuit. Good campaign so far.
Yeah, we need to thank the Commercial Truck and Trailer for having this dash, United Express line, for all the help that they do for the All-Stars, and the All-Stars themselves. If it wasn't for them, we'd have to be running the World of Outlaws, and a lot of these teams can't afford to run the World of Outlaws, or they all would. So if it wasn't for the All-Stars United Express line, we wouldn't have nowhere to race.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, one more time in Holmesville, Ohio, Mr. Kenny Jacobs. Okay, now wait a minute. We've got some money down here trackside. What's this all about?
We're having the fastest time tonight.
For having quick time tonight. $100, Kenny.
Yeah, thank you very much. I wasn't expecting that. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
On behalf of the Belleville High Banks, the Belleville Fair Board, for setting quick time a $100 bill.
And Jason Statler back out in the 00. Official starter Bob Phillips says, start getting lined up, guys. Yellow light is out. Pace vehicles, all 3 of them, check to the infield. Bill Robertson, the Nebraska racer, is our pace setter. The white line in turn 4. Here they come in. Shoot! Here they go. Larry Neighbors looking to the outside. Red flag out. Car takes a tumble over on the back stretch.
Car back here with Dan Asaric, man. He sits kind of laying on the side back here. Just kind of took really an easy roll. Got into the wall a little bit, just coming out of turn number 2, and hooked the wall just a little bit.
You got to take good job, buddy, for mentioning this. I almost completely forgot about this. If you want to keep up.
6. Moving on to the A main. Official starter Bob Phillips starts to get our field squared away. Now your front row on that initial start, they saw Larry Neighbors take advantage of the high groove and shoot around to the top side and get around him. So Bill Robertson going to be on his toes. Also Scott Whitworth. They know that, hey, the pack's right there and they're not waiting for anything. They're coming. Ernest Jennings coasting here on the front stretch. Hopefully not a problem settling in. Looks like he is going to check to the infield here. Let's see what happens in the Jennings family, number 61. Obviously he's not going to catch up to the pack, and the yellow light will undoubtedly come out. Come to a stop over there infield. In turn 2, he will need a push.
And it looks like this time the caution flag will go off and the light will go out, and it looks like we are going to get this one underway 10 times around the big half mile.
Janitor of the 61 of Ernest Jennings said act like the fuel shut off on him. That's why he was having problems trying to get the tank fired and get in this race, but unfortunately he's out.
Thanks, Dennis, for the report. Let's get ready for B-Main action. United Express Line All-Star NCRA Shootout. Bill Robertson, our pace setter. He takes it to the white line, and here we go. Once again, Larry Neighbors will grab the early lead. Bill Robertson second. Shane Carson machine, Larry Neighbors. Unofficially second to 96, Scott Whitworth. Third to 16, Nebraska racer Bill Robertson. Fourth to $12 sign, Oklahoman Shane Carson. Unofficially fifth, Brian Smith from Fremont, Ohio. Rounding out the top 6 in that last transfer spot to the A main. From San Jose, California, Jason Statler.
Here's race fans Larry Neighbors right down here in the 29. I tell you, that's an awesome start there for you, buddy. We got some Frisbees down here, looks like, for you to sign and stuff. Good job out there.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I was real fortunate, you know, the 96 car wasn't taking off real good, and he knew that, and the officials knew that, so they said, you know, I kept getting out of line, but it was one of those deals where he knew his car wasn't taking off, and so he kind of told me, hey, I'm going to pull down, so that gave me the opportunity to kind of go high, and that's why I did get such a good start. The track right now is as such that if you do get a nice start, it's so fast on one groove that, you know, you can hold it pretty easy, I guess.
Well, tell us about turn 3 back there. It looks like it's slicking off there, maybe rubbering up a little bit. What's going on back there?
Well, what the deal is it's so dry up to that cushion, so the car tries to kind of get loose, and then you get the back of the car into that cushion, and it's a little bit different drive. It's one of the deals where you need to go in actually with your right front. Let your right front kind of sit right on that deal. And I don't know, it's just...
How are we feeling about the season so far? You've been running with the World of Outlaws and stuff, and I know that's a big jump here for you. How do you feel like you're doing?
Oh, we've been doing real good. We've had some motor problems, and I think we got those worked out. We ran the first 27 outlaw races, and at our 27 shows, we destroyed 2 cars and 5 motors. So we kind of dropped off that deal, and we're just kind of running around now, and we'll see how the year ends up. We're either going to go back and try for Rookie of the Year at the Outlaws next year, or maybe we can team up with somebody and run, you know, the Outlaws, or maybe go for the All-Star deal. Personally, I mean, just because Rick's standing here, it's not because I'm saying that, but I would rather run the Outlaw deal because I feel like there's a little better money because of the, you know, quantity of TV shows. The All-Stars, if a guy don't care about that and he already has a sponsor like Frankie Kerr, the Jacobs boys, you couldn't pay me to go run the Outlaw deal, but I don't have a sponsor. That's why I feel like I need to do that.
All right, there he is. Give him a big round of applause. Larry Neighbors down here throwing some Frisbees in the stands.
As they head down the back straightaway, folks, let's everybody stand this time around. This is your Thunder Through the Plains NCRA versus All-Star A feature event. Going in to salute you, the fans of the famed Belleville High Banks. Thanking you for coming out and giving them their support. As they head into the number 4 turns, we hope that you'll put your arms in the air. They can't hear you, but they can sure see if you put your arms in the air. Let's give them that great big Belleville High Banks wave. This is your All-Star NCRA feature event on parade. Mr. Excitement Bob Belleville says, gentlemen, one more time around the half mile before we get ready to turn you loose for 25 laps of heart-pounding excitement as they get ready to rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
On the front row. Watch the white line. Here they go. number 94 over in number 2 turn as he got up against the wall in the number 1 as he was dueling with the 7K of Brooke Tandell.
Well, driver on to the number 94 over here as we roll it back over. Kenny Jacobs, nowhere to be found actually down here. Car pretty much, well, it's not really destroyed that much. It just, a lot of oil leaked out of it and stuff. And the front end of the Nerf bar knocked off the back. And that's pretty much wing destroyed. And we'll see what happened. The other driver out down here also of the number 3 car.
I love this fast stuff. Keep her straight and go.
I'll tell you what though, I don't think you can say that Eldora is faster than this, can you?
I'll tell you what, the wall makes a little bit of a difference, but she's just as much fun.
There you go, all right.
For the O'Reilly Auto Parts NCRA Outlaw Sprint Car Series, of course, last night, Jeff Shepard scores 1 for the All-Stars. We'll see whether or not they might not be able to even the score 3 laps from now. Wright has the opportunity to be able to take and bring him onto the number 4 turn and get him out by the cone and then start racing. No passing before they get to the cone. As Wright in the number 9 has 3 laps to go. Onto the number 4 turn. Here we go. The checkered flag is thrown as your top 3, finishing unofficially in 3rd spot, the 7K, Brooke Tandell. 3rd spot, the 7J of Jeff Shepard. And race fans, put your hands together for your winner, scored 1 for the O'Reilly Auto Parts NCRA Outlaw Sprint Car Series. Out of Woods, Texas, the 5-time champion, Mr. Gary Wright.
Gets ready to take the helmet off. Mickey, well, let him hear it out here, Mr. Gary Wright, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. As he comes out, gets a handshake from All-Stars Competition Director Rick Nichols. Down here into Victory Lane real quick, we'll get a word with Gary Wright. Gary, tell you what, fella, what a place to put on a demonstration of power with your engine builders just a couple of 100 miles away. Well, not even that far, a couple miles away, actually.
68 miles away, and I tell you, this is a brand new Salina engine bullet. And I'm going to tell you what, I've never been able to run like this at Belleville. Here you need every bit of motor you can get, and this baby will run.
Talk to me about that pass in lap traffic. That was wild back there.
Well, you know, Jeff was on the top. Really, the only place I feel like I was going to get him was in lap traffic, and I saw the opportunity. The car stuck, no motor pulled good out of the turn, and there we went.
Lap traffic on this track, though, has got to keep everybody on the edge of their seat.
Well, actually, tonight we lapped some cars pretty quick, but they stayed right in the line they were running. Which here, if you run all over the track, it's a bad deal. So it worked out great.
Congratulations tonight, Gary Wright, down here in Victory Lane. We get our young lady up here to present the trophy, and Gary's still signing some frisbees down here. First off, he's going to throw some frisbees up here to the grandstand. Gary Wright, the Texan, out of Hooks, Texas. Tossing the frisbees up, taking on the big feature win here on the second night of Thunder Through the Plains, the All-Star Circuit of Champions of the National Championship Racing Association Outlaw Sprint Car Series, as Gary Wright now makes his way back down here to the home of the number 9. You know, you don't see a lot of sponsorships on this car, race fans, because this guy is still actively seeking some sponsorship money for the number 9 out of Hooks, Texas, the Texan. One more time, let him hear it out here, Mr. Belleville, all the way from Mr. Hooks, Texas, Gary Wright.
Running the All-Star banner down here, I tell you, tell us about, you know, you led most of the race. Tell us about that pass down the back straightaway when Gary went high and you went low.
Well, the biggest deal was them 2 lap cars. I caught them going into the corner. I don't think you want to do that. The one guy was on top, the one guy was on the bottom. I tried to drive between the middle of them, got stuck out in the middle of the black of the racetrack, and I couldn't get up where I needed to be because I was kind of blocked in there, and Gary went all the way to the bottom. I lost my momentum, and that's all it takes here, just a little bobble, and then if a guy's right on you, he'll get by, and that's it, and the race is over. That's what happened.
Yeah, when you back off just a little bit down here, how long does it take? About a lap or a half lap, what?
It takes at least a lap, you know, so he had momentum on us and stuff. He did the right thing. He made the right move. He won the race, you know. We did our best, and I just got hung up in lap traffic a little bit, but lap traffic here is different than any other type of racetrack. Any other type of racetrack lap traffic, you can get by him and get away from him. This deal here seems like when you catch him, you're with him for a little bit, and then when you try to get by him, if you're not, you know, still on the gas, then you're not going to get by him and stay in front of him.
So you have to kind of time it when you get up to these guys?
It looks like it, but then to time something, you almost got to let off the gas and time it perfectly. If I'd let off over there trying to catch him right here on the straightaway sooner or later down the back straightaway, he'd have passed me before then anyway. So I was going as hard as I could go in that one split second to keep running into somebody. I had to check up, and he passed me.
So a big secret here, horsepower or handling, or is it just put your foot to the floor?
I think qualified and starting positions, everything. Because the guys that start up front finished up front. I mean, it's just the way it happened. And, you know, it's just a momentum deal. If you just keep the thing on the mat, you just gas this thing as hard as it'll go. I don't think you can go fast enough.
I tell you, we've heard some guys compare this to Eldora. You think tonight was a little faster than Eldora?
It felt pretty fast. I mean, I was working that deal there with 3 to go, you know, before that red come out. I mean, I was hanging on to it, going as hard as I could go, and I was pretty much out of control. But, you know, that's the way you got to be when you're trying to win.
Well, I tell you, being out of control out here on this big, fast racetrack. Didn't have that stumble problem tonight, so that was a good thing.
Yeah, it was a good thing. I got to, you know, hats off to the guys. They work real hard, and, you know, this is a product, a result of what you get. Just so happens we weren't in the right deal for the right brakes and lap traffic.
I'll tell you, it looks like you made a deal with those lap cars here on that restart, though.
Yeah, I tried to because I knew 3 laps. I mean, the race was about over. I mean, they might as well just throw in a checker because 3-lap dash, you can't pass anybody. With 2 lap cars, you know, I kind of gave him a good jump. And on the deal with lap cars, I wanted them to get out of the way so that I wouldn't get third.
All right, good job there. You going to be with us for the rest of the series?
Yeah, we're going to be out here until the end of the week.
Well, great deal. Give him a big round of applause again. Coming in second tonight, the 4J Jeff Shepard.
And now down here with Brooke Tatnell. Brooke, one of those racing incidents that happened there towards the waning end of this race over there in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, we just need to get our car wound up as quick as Jeff Mouse goes, but we just weren't quick enough tonight. I think we killed ourselves a little bit with the changes we made just before the feature race, but yeah, it's definitely unfortunate with what happened with Kenny. We've had a lot of good hard races between here and Australia, and I'm sure Kenny knows that I don't deliberately crash people and I don't block people. As far as I'm concerned, I think I'm one of the cleanest racers out there. So, but I'll sort that out with Kenny a little bit later on. It was just unfortunate. I came off the bottom. I went to the bottom to pass a slower car in 3 and 4, and I'd run the top in 1 and 2 the whole night, and I wasn't going to change that game plan. And I didn't know Kenny was up there, and he just got in the heavy stuff. And unfortunately, that's part of motor racing.
You said that your father was into the midget racing at multi-champion, and you'd like to someday come here to the High Banks of Belleville and run that Belleville Midget Nationals.
Yeah, I grew up around midgets, so and this place definitely would suit the midgets. It'd definitely be the fastest racetrack you could ever get a midget around. So no, I'd really love to have the opportunity. One of our fellow countrymen came over this year and did a pretty good job considering first time here. And this is a daunting racetrack, so I can imagine how scary it'd be in a midget, but I'd still love you to give it a shot.
Brooke, congratulations tonight. Good finish. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank all the race fans and all the sponsors of this event.
Brooke Tatnell out of Australia down here finishing in the number 3 spot. Well, down here trackside, guys, I'll tell you what, it's going to be cocktail hour just momentarily. If you want an autograph, fanwares, t-shirt, what have you, these guys have all got it back here in their trailers. Brooke Tatnell right now getting swarmed by some of the autograph people, youngsters down here. One of the great things about auto racing we love to do.